Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to a brand new 9.0 update. I'll be covering the vast number of features we added in 3 different categories. The first will be new visual and audio features, the second will be interface additions, and lastly, gameplay additions. Some features will have some overlap, and there will be timestamps down in the description to help navigate the new features. As you can see, the main menu has been redesigned, as well as the title and background are animated. And when we click on settings, you can see the volume bar has also been redesigned, and as we move the knob up and down, the volume will adjust accordingly. So now we can hit sandbox to enter in a match to demonstrate the new build mode. As you can see, the red squares indicate we are unable to build, and as soon as we click Town Hall, you'll be able to see the white squares show where your territory is and where you are able to build buildings. Buildings no longer have weird half edges, and so they are able to nicely and neatly slot into the available territory that you would like to place your buildings down. When you're done placing buildings, you can either hit escape on your keyboard or press cancel in the top right under the minimap. Our cursor will now highlight buildings as you hover over them. Zoomed in over by the river, we can see river particles and butterflies have been reintroduced into the game. Resource gatherers now have 8 directional sprites instead of their previous 4. They will also hold lanterns during the nighttime, which gives them vision. However, now resource gatherers need to have seen resources that you have scouted and spotted in order for them to go out and get them. Because resource gatherers now have vision, they're added scouting potential, however you need to make sure that they are protected. You can see that towns also become more lively and that lights will pop up from the different buildings to show that nighttime has completely arrived. Also, braziers will only light up during the nighttime instead of the entire day. Rain has been redesigned from the previous blue shade to a now more whiter shade. As rain comes down, the dirt patches that you see will become mud, and when units or resource gatherers walk over them, they will leave tracks behind that you will be able to see as well as your enemy will be able to see. So keep that in mind when attacking during rain. We've implemented a 3D sound engine, so sound effects now come from the direction they occur in. With all the new features, they all have new sound effects as well. Voice lines have been added to the soldiers depending on when you interact with them, what orders you tell them, and when they arrive at their destinations.
At the ready. At your command. Moving to guard. Guarding location. Guarding location. Ready to fight. At your command. At your command. Ready to attack. Prepared to defend. Guarding location. Guard. Guarding location. At your command.
Up top, you can now see icons to use for the unit filtration system we've added. You can click on the icons to select the specific gear you want, as well as alternate between different chassis with arrows up above. Once a group of units is selected, you can also click on the highlighted icons to deselect certain types. You can now chain select units by holding Control and left clicking or drag selecting. Once you have a group of units, you can now bind them to a control group by right clicking on a box to the right of the screen. Once bound, you can left click or use the 1 through 9 keys on the top of your keyboard to select the groups you want. Clicking or pressing the number keys again will deselect that group. You can delete a group by selecting it and then clicking the X to disband the group. You can also add buildings to command groups. All you have to do is select a building and right-click on a box to the right. Selecting a building will pull up a menu, allowing you to build troops far away from base. Now, pressing escape will remove any building menus, and left-clicking anywhere will deselect all active troop selections. Units now have an inspection menu with the name of the unit type, their stats, and the name of the actual unit. Lastly, for interface changes, alerts will now pop up on the minimap when you're being attacked off screen. You will see an arrow pop up, which can be left-clicked to teleport you to the scene, or left-clicking on the minimap will still teleport you there as well. Also, when you are in combat or being sieged, new battle music will cue, which can currently be heard. And lastly, health bars now have been redesigned and only appear if a unit is wounded. You can see the health bars are now a little bigger and display a lot more information. For gameplay features, we've added stone walls to the game. These can be placed down in your territory and will help block the side of your opponent. You can use these to create certain paths you want your opponent to take. Buying land has been reworked, so you can now select multiple claims to purchase at once. You can undo previous claims by right-clicking as many times as you need. Once your claims have been established, simply hit confirm to purchase your new territory. Resource gatherers have been optimized, so they will return to the nearest appropriate building to drop off supplies, instead of going to their original building if it is further away than the new building. The miners and the lumberjack are returning to the new closer buildings we had just placed down. Troop buildings have rally points that can be set by selecting the building you want and by pressing R anywhere on the map. This will now set the destination for any troops that are now produced out of that building. Units will now stay in place and no longer walk around when idling. Soldiers no longer collide with one another, allowing them to make formations. You are able to drag and draw destinations you want your soldiers to be in by holding right-click and dragging your mouse. The FCA boxes can set the order in which your units are selected for formations. These can be readjusted depending on your preference. Destination icons have been added to illustrate what orders have been given to your units, as well as the soldiers will have similar icons. The three orders are right-clicking for normal moving, shift right-clicking for guard moving, and control right-clicking for attack moving. Normal move will cause your units to attack the enemy when provoked, guard move will force your units to stay in place and fight, and attack moving will cause your units to engage the nearest target they spot. Attack moving can also be used to specifically target enemy buildings or units. Lastly, we've made it so trees now shake when enemy or friendly units are under those trees. If an enemy advances, you'll be able to see their movements if you pay close enough attention. The more units moving under the trees will cause them to shake more violently. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed all our new features in Tiny Kingdoms 9.0. Feel free to check out our social medias down in the description to be up to date on any Tiny Kingdoms news. Have a great day.